Hey, what's up guys, it's Sam Coppat, you're watching Bind the Butler, and for number 39 of the Acceleration Project, I'm going to do a little reading of a book called How to Be Free. It's by Tom Hodgkinson. I'm borrowing it off a very good friend of mine, Joe Paxton. Thank you very much, man. So here we go, hopefully you'll enjoy it. I've only just started it really, but I'm finding it quite powerful so far. Okay, so the first chapter is called Banish Anxiety, Be Carefree. When it comes to anxiety, I'm here to say it's not your fault. Shed the burden, that dreadful, gnawing, stomach-churning sense that things are awry, mixed with a chronic sense of powerlessness, is the simple result of living in an anxious age, oppressed by Puritans, imprisoned by career, humiliated by bosses, attacked by banks, seduced by celebrity, bored by TV, forever hoping, fearing or regretting. It, the thing, the man, the system, the combine, the construct, whatever we want to call the structures of power, wants you to be anxious. Anxiety suits the status quo very well. Anxious people make good consumers and good workers. Governments and big business, therefore, love terrorism. They adore it. It's good for business. Anxiety will drive us back into our comfort blankets of credit card shopping and bad food. So the system deliberately produces anxiety while simultaneously promising to take it away. The veritable stream of scare stories in the newspapers about rising crime make us feel anxious. Newspapers set out to provide entertainment and gossip, stories that feed our need for shock and horror. They do it well. Flick through the Daily Mail on any given day and you'll find that 9 out of 10 stories are negative and unsettling. Every radio bulletin and every TV news show, every newspaper and many of our daily conversations drive home the same message: worry, worry, worry. It's a dangerous world out there filled with crazy, suicidal... Thank you. It's a dangerous world out there filled with crazy, suicidal, bomb-hurling terrorists and murderers and thieves and rotters and natural disasters. Stay home, watch TV, buy stuff on the web, curl up on the sofa with a DVD. In the words of the Black Flag song, TV Party, TV news shows what it's really like out there. It's a scare. As in George Orwell's 1984, we are told that we are in a perpetual state of war. It's just that the enemy sometimes changes. We are no longer at war with the IRA, we are now at war with Al-Qaeda. Different enemy, same anxiety and same end result: mass powerlessness. But if we bother to investigate these myths for a few seconds, they soon reveal themselves to mere convenient fictions. According to the brilliant anxiety analyst Brian Dean, the truth is that crime rates have remained fairly constant for the last 150 years. Dean maintains that our fear of crime is vastly out of proportion to the reality. The truth is that we face far more danger from automobile accidents and heart disease than from crime. Motor accidents kill 10 people a day in the UK, and heart disease hundreds. But no one talks about banning cars or criminalising the stress that puts a strain on the heart. The propaganda of insecurity, for Dean, is at the root of the problem. Our beliefs program our realities. If we believe that the universe is fundamentally unsafe, then we're going to experience perpetual anxiety, which isn't a good way to operate our brains. Our work, organised into the cursed job system, doesn't help, condemning as it does so many of us to meaningless toil. E.F. Schumacher was the great thinker behind the book Small is Beautiful. As anarchist and an idler at heart, he argued that the very enormity, the giant, impossible, dizzying scale of modern-day capitalism saps the spirit. He also believed that this enormity had made work into something pointless, boring, soul-destroying, something to put up with, a necessary evil rather than a pleasure. In his book Good Work, he argues that industrial society causes anxiety because, by focusing primarily on greed, or what the medievals called the sin of avaritia, it doesn't allow time for the expression of our noble faculties. Everywhere shows this evil characteristic of incessantly stimulating greed and avarice, mechanical artificial, divorced from nature, utilising only the smallest part of man's potential capabilities, it sentences the great majority of workers to spending their working lives in a way which contains no worthy challenge, no stimulus to self-perfection, no chance of development, no element of beauty, truth, goodness. I say therefore that it is a great evil, perhaps the greatest evil of modern industrial society, that, though its immensely involved nature, it imposes an undue nervous strain and absorbs an undue proportion of man's attention. In the current scheme of things, when we're not working, we're consuming. We leave the factory gates and pour our wages straight back into the system at Tesco's. We suffer a strange split in our roles in society between that of worker and consumer, the oppressed and the courted. Now though, the moment we leave the factory gates and start to make our way back home, we are serenaded from all sides by advertising. The service culture makes us into little princes surrounded by simpering courtiers, eager to curry favour, so we will give them our cash or let them have their wicked way with us. They make us feel important. The world of advertising practices its dark arts of seduction. In The Society of the Spectacle, 1967, the fantastically carefree situationist Guy Debord put it like this: the worker, suddenly redeemed from the total contempt which is plainly shown to him by all forms of the organisation and supervision or production, now finds himself every day outside of production, and in the guise of a consumer, with zealous politeness, he is seemingly treated as an adult. At this point, the humanism of the commodity takes charge of the worker's leisure and humanity. The commercial world, then, treats us like celebrities, because you're worth it, it says. It flatters us and keeps on doing so right up until the moment when we hand over our credit card details. Then we are cast aside and condemned to a purgatory of being held in a queue on a customer service line for all eternity. What fools we are. The whole panoply of modern state control also is surely designed to make us feel nervous. The very institutions and devices that are sold to us as comforts and security measures create insecurity by constantly reminding us of dangers. Police, speed cameras, CCTV cameras, burglar alarms. Those two dark jailers, health and safety, are used by the interferers to foist ever more stringent attacks on our liberties. It's worth remembering, for example, that when the police force was proposed by Home Secretary Robert Peel in 1828, there was a huge outcry from the people, who complained about the attack on their freedoms that such an idea represented. Before the government-run police force, law-keeping was managed by locally elected constables. There is now a colossal machinery of state to deal with perhaps 50,000 hardcore criminals in the country, while the 60 million law-abiding citizens have to suffer. These devices are an attack on spontaneous enjoyment of life, on pleasure. I am anti-crime, but not because I morally disapprove of law-breaking. In fact, I'm attracted to criminals and the Asbo kids precisely because their criminality flags their refusal to submit to authority. Delinquency is a sign of life. I'm against crime because it feeds straight into the government system. For every crime committed, there is a tenfold attack on personal liberties. One bomb leads to 1,000 new laws. Governments love crime, as crime gives them a reason to exist, protection of the citizenry, and an excuse to control us. Therefore, the real anarchist should avoid criminal acts at all costs. George Orwell's 1984 is becoming a reality in other ways too. At the time of writing, the US government is trying to subpoena the records of Google, the search engine which can record everything we have searched for, thus gaining an insight into the innermost workings of our minds. The internet threatens to turn from being a tool of liberation into a tool of surveillance, a spy in every home. I suppose the same thing could happen to our emails. Our most intimate conversations are being logged, recorded, saved, and they will be sitting forever on some giant hard drive should the authorities need to look at them in the future. Big Brother is not only watching us, but listening to us, eavesdropping on us, and even peering into our brains and inspecting the contents of our very souls. What's more, we have submitted entirely voluntarily to this system. It was never like this with the Royal Mail, and now there is a new threat to our civil liberties in the UK in the form of ID cards, on which will be recorded our misdemeanours. Anxiety in our being surrounded by anxiety-inducing agents is the absolute centre of the capitalist project. That is why I say it's not your fault. Everywhere the same myth is perpetuated. You are just one object away from happiness. It could be the latest U2 album, a donation to charity, a more comprehensive insurance policy, a different credit card, a fabulous holiday, a better job, a faster car. However many times we're disappointed by the failure of this myth to bring us satisfaction, we keep coming back for more. In the words of Crass founder Penny Rimbaud, we feed the hand that bites us. We remain unsatisfied. Capitalism is constantly and perpetually disappointing. The very thing that promises you freedom can quickly become the thing that oppresses you. Anxiety is the sacrifice of creativity in the service of security. It is the giving up of personal freedoms in return for the promise, never fulfilled, of comfort, cotton wool, air-conditioned shopping centres. Security is a myth. It simply doesn't exist. This does not stop us, however, from constantly chasing it. Some of us may find a sort of pleasure in anxiety and its opposites, just as some enjoy swinging from white to brown, crack to heroin, from the highs to the lows. I recently sat next to a genial man in his 60s in a dining car of a train. He asked if I wanted to have a look at his Evening Standard. I said no, that newspapers make me feel anxious by parading a load of problems which I'm utterly powerless to do anything about. He replied, "Oh, I'd rather like feeling anxious than I have a drink." We are still scandalously encouraged by the medical drug-pushing establishment to believe that heart disease can be avoided by mechanical methods, i.e. stopping smoking or taking toxic pills, when it is perfectly obvious that although these might be contributing factors, the real cause of heart disease is an uneasy heart. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Thanks for listening. And yeah, just a little update. I'm going to be bombarding my channel now with videos because if you watch Prelude, then you know that time's running out for the Acceleration Project. I have 10 more videos left to go. Hopefully these are going to be 10 big videos. I hope you enjoy them, but they're going to be very regular. So I hope you can hold on with me for this journey. And thanks for watching again, and I'll see you later. Cheers, guys.